Hi, this is Dr. Swanberg. I am going to go with you through the e-college syllabus and just walk you through some of the major points on the syllabus. This is the syllabus for the e-college course of Reading 114A, Critical Reading. It has the same learning goals as the ground course for 114A, and it's just like the ground course, a 3-credit course. The class meeting days and times and location are a little different though. All classes in the online course are online. You do not have to come to a physical class. That includes lectures, lessons, discussion boards, assignments, projects, and your tests. All of it takes place online and in Blackboard. Students have access to the information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from the first day the class opens to the day it closes. Students must access class information and complete all assignments by specific due dates starting on the first day. Students must engage in the class early in the week and establish and maintain an online presence throughout the week. Students who lack online engagement and don't do very much online won't do very well in an online course. I am available to help you. I'm an actual professor at Lawson State. I have an office where you can come see me in person if you're struggling, or if you just want to say hi and put a face with the name and have a face-to-face meeting. My office is in the back of classroom 254 of the Bessemer campus in Building A. You can call me there at 929-3452 and leave a message, but remember I check those about once a day and I'm not there at night. My email address is aswanberg@lawsonstate.edu, and I usually respond to emails pretty quickly, definitely within 24 hours of getting the email. And the only time I don't respond right away to emails is on Sundays, and Sundays are a day I just keep to myself. So keep in mind that if you have a question you need answered before something's due on Sunday night, try to ask me during the week or on Saturday to be sure to get an answer. The email requirements do not recognize non-Lawson State Community College email addresses. That means you have to use your Lawson State issued email account in order to communicate with the e-college course. So you absolutely have to use the Lawson State email in order to communicate with me and to communicate with other students in the course. That's because if I permit you to send an email to one of your classmates, it strips out the information about their email and just uses Blackboard so that I'm not giving you another student's private information. Okay. On campus, I do have office hours. They vary from day to day, so your best bet if you'd like to meet with me on campus is to send me an email and schedule an appointment. And whether it's an official office hour time or not, if I'm not teaching, I'd be happy to make time to meet with you. Online, I'll be able to live chat with you every Thursday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. if you'd like to chat with me during that time. If you feel like you need to live chat at another time, I need you to email me ahead of time and arrange it. And those times are really limited. I can't often live chat in the evening because I have a toddler at home and a husband, and I'm very, very busy in the evenings, so it can be hard to carve out time to live chat. So try really hard to make it from 7 to 8. Or to call me at the office, or to send me an email and communicate what's going on through email. The course is designed to help you be a better reader, not just in this class, but in your other college courses and in your workplace. Everybody reads. Every student in every class has things they have to read, and every worker in every job has things they have to read. Even an automotive technician has manuals that they've got to read and instructions they have to understand. And this course is designed to help you learn new vocabulary, to help you be an active reader and learn tricks for remembering what you read, interpreting what you read, and making the most out of it. The textbook is The Art of Critical Reading by Mather and McCarthy by McGraw-Hill. The ISBN for the online version, or the e-version, is 97813082388685. Now you can also purchase a paper copy if you'd like to. Send me an email and I'll send you a link to a paper copy, or you can visit the Lawson State bookstore and buy a paper copy there. But there are directions here in the syllabus and a link that will help you purchase the e-copy of the book, and that's an electronic copy of the book. Now you do still have to pay for the electronic copy because it is copywritten, but you can have an e-copy and that's acceptable. So you really can do all of your work online if you want to or need to. Okay, our novel that we're reading, we read a classic novel in this book. It's called The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells, and it's an open source classic novel. That means that it's available for free. It's available through iBooks if you have an iPad. It's available for free through Kindle, although you may have to scroll down through a few versions of it to find the free version, but the free version is fine. Or on bartleby.com. Now, I've provided a link to bartleby.com, but in another presentation, I'm going to be going over how to use the iBook or the Kindle version, because those have built-in dictionaries, and that can be really, really useful for you because this book has a big vocabulary in it. Okay. Computer and internet requirements. This is on page 3 of your syllabus, and you have a paper copy of this syllabus, and I want you to read it carefully, very, very, very carefully. If you do not have these things, you might consider withdrawing from the course or dropping the course right away and signing up for a ground course, because these are the things you absolutely need in order to succeed in an online course. You need to have access to a computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you only have access to the computers on campus, that's not going to work for you. You need to have reliable internet service. Reliable internet service. If your internet service is always going out on you, consider taking a ground course. This is going to be really frustrating for you. If you plan to use an iPad to complete your work, that's not going to work. iPads don't have the capability to watch all the features that you need to watch. They're not going to be able to do the video lectures, the audio features. It's just not going to work out for you. And the Blackboard interface is really sketchy on iPads. It's the same on an iPhone. You have some access to Blackboard, but nowhere near what you're going to need for this class. So you really need to have a PC or a Mac that is an actual computer and not a tablet device or a smartphone. All right, you need to make sure you know how to do some basic skills. If these things sound daunting to you, then the things we're going to be asking you to do in the class are really going to throw you for a loop. So you need to know how to send an email, be comfortable working on a computer, know how to work the keyboard, and have a basic understanding of Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, because we're going to be using that as well. You need to be able to know how to attach documents within an email. It's the same process for attaching documents to Blackboard, and we're going to be doing that all the time. You need to have basic typing and computer skills, including how to put punctuation in and how to capitalize things. You need to be good at following online directions. Reading the screen is going to be really important for you in this class. All right, the next thing we have are a set of student learning outcomes. You need to learn reading skills, build a stronger vocabulary, and understand vocabulary and context. Identify stated and implied main ideas, identify major and minor supporting details, interpret and make valid inferences about a text, demonstrate the ability to recognize and interpret figurative language, understand opinion and fact, bias and point of view, and recognize tone and purpose. And you'll show the ability to read a classic novel and make clear arguments about it in writing. Our units are broken up week by week in a 14 or 15 week series. Let's see, I think we have 15 weeks in this series. We do. And this means that week by week, this is what we're doing. First week is introductions. Then we're going to talk about active reading and vocabulary building. Then we're moving to topic main idea. Then I'm going to introduce you to the novel, and you're going to get started reading that. Then we're going to work on inference, then tone and purpose. Then you're going to have a project due and a midterm, and then you're going to learn about figurative language, and then you'll have another argument essay due, and then fact versus opinion, and you'll have a group project due, and then bias and point of view, and then a novel project due, and then finally an online exam. Okay, this is how the grades are broken up. We're going to have quizzes. There are actually 8 quizzes, but 5 of them will count toward your grade. 3 of your lowest quiz grades will be dropped, but that's 10% or 100 points of your grade. There will be vocabulary presentations. There will be 5 of them. Those will also count at 20 points each, and they will be 10% or 100% of your grade when averaged together. You're going to have 15 discussion boards. That means you're going to do a discussion board entry every single week. So just get used to being on the discussion board. It's there for us to make sure we know what we're talking about every week. So every week for 15 at 10 points each. Group projects and essays. There's 1 group project and 2 essays. They are 50 points each. An individual novel project is 150 or 15% of your grade, and your midterm and final are 150 points or 200 points or 15 and 20% of your grade. We consider anything 695 points or higher or a 69.5 or higher to be a C and to be passing. Lower than that, it is not considered passing at Lawson State. We do always round the grades up, and we need to talk to you about incompletes. Incompletes are rare. It's issued when the student, due to no fault of your own, has finished more than 70% of the course and is currently passing, but is interrupted and can't continue. And in those cases, and in those cases only, I'm allowed to issue an incomplete. Okay. Submitting weekly assignments online. All e-college assignments must be submitted within the secure Blackboard course itself. You cannot email your instructor the assignment. Email is not considered reliable or secure, and we will not do assignments in email. We will only put them in Blackboard. If you're struggling to know how to upload something in Blackboard, you're going to have to get some help with that, use one of the tutorials, and really turn that around, because I can only accept assignments in Blackboard. In most cases, I will be able to grade your work within a week of the due date, and if this is not possible, I'll send everyone an email telling you the specific date and time that grades and feedback will be available. It's never going to be much longer than a week. Something might come up where my entire Friday is lost to something and I don't get to grade things, but that's going to be a rare situation. If you have a discussion board topic, you're supposed to post on the board at least 3 out of 7 days for that specific topic. Now, I can change this a little bit, but I really don't plan to. I think chiming in on the discussion board 3 times a week is a really good idea, because otherwise it's not a conversation. It's you spouting off and then disappearing, and that's not a conversation, or it's not a discussion. So really, we want to have an ongoing discussion, which is a conversation, and the conversation is ongoing, and it's participatory. All right, I want to make sure that you understand a few things here. Never confuse our classroom discussion with a chat room. This is a formal situation, and we need to make sure that we're really making sure we're imagining the people on the other end of the keyboard. This is not a chance to yell or gripe or complain, and it's definitely not a place to be nasty to each other. We're going to make sure that this is a very professional setting. We're going to respect other people's views and be very respectful every single time. You want to keep your responses brief but meaningful and deliberate, well thought out. Don't just throw anything up there that you haven't thought through. And really try to move the conversation in a new and interesting direction. So you can ask questions, stimulate the discussion by giving a new thought or an idea. But the idea is to really have a good participation. You don't want to use texting shortcuts, LOL, see you soon, or are you okay kind of stuff. Spell all your words, please. This is a college class. So we are going to be writing in standard English. Remember that you're responding to a question posed in a college course. So we are going to check for capitalization, punctuation, grammar, syntax, spelling, all of those things. It's an English class. Come on now. Never use all caps in a discussion board. That's considered yelling online. It's like, hello! If I put something in caps, that's because I am yelling. It's really important and I'm yelling it at you. So if it's in all caps, it's really super important and I'm saying it really loudly. Always watch your tone and your language. No cuss words, no inflammatory language that might upset someone. Just try to be polite. All right. Never try to just turn in the major assignments and skip the discussion boards. You're getting graded on the discussion boards, so you need to participate in those. Okay, and absence. You can be absent from an online class if you don't do any work that week. So if you don't do any work for the week, on Friday, I'm gonna mark you as absent. If you haven't been in the discussion boards, you haven't done a quiz, you haven't done an assignment by the end of the week Friday, I'm going to say that you were absent. So you've at least got to do a discussion board during the week to be counted as present for the class. And being absent can affect your financial aid, so make sure that you're participating. A withdrawal. If you find yourself having a hard time in this class, regardless of the reason or circumstance, you should withdraw from the class before you decide to take an F in it. A withdrawal can affect your eligibility for financial aid, so please talk to the financial aid department before you decide to withdraw. It might also be a good idea to contact your advisor and ask their advice about it. Here's my makeup work policy. Makeup work is not permitted in this course. That's because all non-discussion board assignments are available right from the beginning of the course, so you can work ahead if you need to. All students should have ample time to complete these assignments. Falling behind in a discussion board and attempting to join in after the conversation has concluded is just rude. It's like showing up to a party the day after it was hosted. Everybody's moved on, and you've got a week to get your conversation in there, and I expect you to be able to do that. Your 3 lowest quiz grades will be dropped in lieu of allowing quizzes to be made up after their deadlines have passed. So you'll have a full week to take the quiz. As a matter of fact, if you want to work ahead, you'll have from the beginning of the course until the deadline to take care of the quiz. So you can work ahead in the quizzes as well. But once the deadline for that quiz passes, we're moving on. Okay? All right, Proctor You. We have a situation here where every exam is going to be proctored by an online proctor. And in order to be able to do this, you have to sign up with Proctor You, and there are tutorials on how to do that in the Get Started menu. A computer is needed for it. You have to have a portable webcam that can pan the room. You need to have a reliable internet source that is not in a library. It needs to be a secure zone by yourself. You need to have something that can pick up your voice as well, like a microphone. And you need to have a state-issued photo ID. All right, there is Tutoring Online, and you can see that there's English tutoring and literature available, essay writing and literature tutoring available. And those things are things that you may end up wanting in this class. You also have all the student services that you would have on campus available to you, and on pages 10 and 11 in the syllabus, it outlines all of those student services that are available to you. So really take advantage of the things that we have. We also have some rules on how to behave online. We've talked about most of them. Don't use all caps, don't use texting symbols or shortcuts. You should refer to me as Dr. Swanberg, because that's my title, is doctor. I paid a lot of money for the D and the R and spent a lot of time earning them, so that's what we'll use. We don't want to be sarcastic or harsh or cruel to other people. We don't want to share too much personal or private information online, and definitely please don't advertise your services to the class or advertise your business to the class. That's not appropriate. So don't share too much private information online. A little bit is fine, but just remember, you don't really know who's on the other end of the computer. Okay, and we want to be careful about sharply criticizing other people. We want to just generally be nice. The online code of conduct as it comes to cheating, plagiarizing, and copying from other people is really strict. E-college students must conduct themselves with honesty and integrity. Online identity fraud is absolutely not tolerated. If you try to let someone else do your work on Blackboard and we find out about it, which we will, you can be expelled permanently from Lawson State Community College. So it's really not worth the risk. If you try to have somebody else take your tests for you on Blackboard, you're going to get expelled, and we don't want that for you. That would be terrible. We want you to be able to learn things. Plagiarism. you have to submit your own work. I'm going to be running these through plagiarism checkers to make sure that you are writing your own work. And I've caught somebody every semester. I catch it every time. So please remember that you really have to do all your own work here. And it's really obvious when you're not. Even though you're on the other end of a computer, it's really obvious that you're not. That means you can't use internet sources. It means you can't quote facts that you had to look up online without providing a citation. It also means you can't take too much help from a peer or a tutor or a family member. I had somebody last semester say, well, I didn't plagiarize. My mother put that in there. It's like, why is your mother writing your paper? No, nobody should be writing this but you. If it doesn't sound like your work, if it doesn't match the discussion boards, it's going to be really obvious. Cheating. If you cheat on your test, you're going to get a 0 for that test, and it can't be made up. It's the same with plagiarism or cheating. You get zeros. If those zeros cause you to not pass the class, you can't replace the grade the next time you take the class. That 0 stays part of your GPA. We're also going to be reporting plagiarism and cheating, and if you are caught cheating or plagiarizing more than once, you can be brought up for disciplinary charges by Lawson State. Okay. Handling of technical issues. If you're having technical issues, contact Lawson State's help desk, especially technical issues with Blackboard. I might be able to help you out if you can't find things, but if something seems to be broken, I don't really know how to fix it. I'm not a tech person. I'm an English person. So you can tell me what the problem is, but definitely access the help desk, okay? Now, the help desk is not designed to help you troubleshoot your own personal laptop or computer problems. That has to be done through the company that sold you the computer, or the Geek Squad, or the geniuses at the Apple Store. We really can't help you much if your computer's not working. Technical mistakes to avoid. Make sure that you've downloaded the software and that your computer meets the software requirements to download. And make sure you're not trying to use a tablet. Make sure you're using a real computer, not a tablet shortcut computer. All right, make sure, I'm going to have you read these instructions on page 14 really carefully. And it does tell you that if you're trying to do something and the computer is working against you and there's a deadline, do a print screen, and it tells you here how to do a print screen, and send that to me. And I can see if I can extend a deadline if this kind of thing is happening to you and it's not your fault, and you take a screen grab of it and show me that it's not your fault. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you get a chance to turn in your work. All right, statement of discrimination or harassment. If you have any kind of disabilities, we cannot discriminate against you any more than we can discriminate based on race, color, gender, religion, national origin, age, or disability. We have to treat everyone equally, and we have to give everyone the tools that they need to succeed. Even if they need additional time, if they need additional tools, if you need closed captioning, Lawson State needs to provide that to you. So if you believe that you need those things, please contact Ms. Herndon at 426-7335 on the Bessemer campus, or Ms. Suggs at 925-2515 on the Birmingham campus. There's going to be a course calendar posted in Blackboard. You'll need to follow along with that. But the next thing you need to do is open the paper copy of this syllabus, read it really carefully, take some notes, print it out, and take the syllabus quiz. The syllabus quiz is available in Unit 1.